Jags Nation, this is the Action Sports Jax postgame show.
Oh, man, what an awful football team you just have here in Jacksonville, Florida, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening from Allegiant Stadium. The Las Vegas Raiders just snapped. They hadn't won since September. They had a 10-game losing streak. It's no more. They beat your Jacksonville Jaguars 19-14. They beat them because this franchise right now is the worst team in the NFL. The worst team in the NFL. We find ways to lose. We can't play complementary football. We can't stay on sides. We can't line up correctly. We can't execute. Our quarterback can't throw the ball down the field. Our players are terrible. Our coaching staff is worse. The general manager's awful. And if the owner is going to sit here and dare bring these guys back next year, well then, I don't know what else to tell you. You can't. You can't. They're 3-12, and we just played a team that wants to lose, and we couldn't beat them. We just played a team that wants the first overall pick, and we couldn't beat them. Oh, Dan doesn't understand. These guys play hard. They play. Come on, man. Come on. Raiders are toast. And now the New York Football Giants have the number 1 pick, and we might have the number 2 pick. Quite frankly, I don't know. We'll have to see when it all shakes out later today. But it doesn't matter. What matters for us is who's making the pick. We're terrible. Name a player on this team besides Brian Thomas Jr. who's worth a darn. 44-41, guys, come on. Haven't made a play in 2 weeks, man. Can't do that. Mason Smith, player of the game, along with Brian Thomas Jr. Mason Smith, good football player today. But what happens is we get carried away here in Jacksonville. We start talking about the exploits at 22, and then 22 has had 2 terrible weeks. It never changes around here. 2 years ago, we went to Kansas City to play the Chiefs in a playoff game. And their all-world tight end had 14 catches. We couldn't stop them. We changed defensive coordinators. We changed personnel. We changed scheme. And 2 years plus later, we come back out, and the best tight end in football has 11 catches, 12 catches. I don't know what he had against us. Never changes. 30 years of watching. Some things never change. We can't cover the tight end. We can't run a screen. And we continue to throw the ball behind the chains. We had a 3rd and 20. And we threw, this is the NFL, we threw a 3-yard crossing route. That was covered. 3rd and 20. We had a 4th and 1, and we get a hold on our last drive where ETN rips off a 10-yard gain. We're going to have a first down at midfield. We get a hold, it's 4th and 11. They rush 4 guys. We throw the ball 3 yards past the chains to Dearness Johnson, who's been inactive for 3 weeks. He makes 1 guy miss, gets tackled 4 yards short of the first down. Game over. Game over. The play calling is abysmal. The execution is abysmal. And we played a team that was so bad. We had a sequence in this game today, ladies and gentlemen, where there were 4 straight penalties. There were 2 on the Raiders because they jumped. So 2 on the Raiders and then 2 on us for jumping. They're the stats, not that they matter. We had 15 first downs, 8 penalties today. 2 turnovers. Bigsby fumbled for the 2nd straight week. Brent and Strange fumbled, lost a fumble, cost us. 3rd down efficiency, 6 of 15 is probably good for the Jags. The Raiders are horrible, man. our big play guys, we have 3 homegrown big play guys. One's not playing. He's out for the year with injury. One hasn't played well since the Vikings game when he covered Justin Jefferson, had a very good game. And he got beat by some guy named Tucker today. Tucker. And 41 has been absent for a couple 3 weeks. So, Mr. Khan, listen, I'll help you if you don't quite get all the football stuff. You got to blow it up, man. You got to blow it up. I mean, we still have 2 more games to go. It doesn't matter. We're 3-12. This team is terrible. We have Brian Thomas Jr., who's a joy to watch and plays his butt off. And Mason Smith, like I said, had a good game today. But other than that, this thing is just, it's embarrassing football, man. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I mean, it's embarrassing to call the game. The announcers it's not clean football. There's no imagination in the offense. None. Zero. We can't execute the simplest of plays. We have illegal shifts. We can't line up correctly. Like I said, our quarterback can't get the ball down the field. It's bad. And we can go on like this, but it's going to be the same thing next year if you choose to bring anyone back. So you have to make that decision. We respect it. It's your decision. I'm speaking as a season ticket holder as well as a sportscaster. I just watch what I watch. I'm not an expert when it comes to football. Believe it or not, most of you probably don't believe it. Those coaches know more than we do, but it sure doesn't seem like it. It sure doesn't seem like it. We got rid of our defensive coordinator last year, and we did it, and we brought in a defensive coordinator who is much, much worse. Much, much worse. Personnel is terrible. The decisions to maybe go to a 4-3, I don't know if that was a good decision. The decision to move Foye Oluokun, who led the NFL in tackles for 3 straight years, and now this year doesn't. I don't think that was a good move. The guys that we've added to help aren't any good. I watch our young defensive backs run with Brock Bowers and then stop for some unknown reason, and then Bowers keeps running and runs past them and collects first downs. It was bad. It was bad. And we can't, we don't try the up-tempo stuff. We got nothing to lose. We don't change anything. I don't know what we're trying to do. I really don't know what we're trying to accomplish. I really don't. Both offensively and defensively, and you can have your special teams. We got a guy we've kept around here, number 15, for years because he's a, quote, special teams demon. I can't think of one damn play he's made on special teams the whole year. But we keep him every year. And then he's on the field today because of injuries to receivers, and he gets 2 penalties that negate about 30 to 35 yards of Brian Thomas Jr. receptions. But we just keep running them back out there. We just keep running them back out there. I don't get it. I just don't understand this football team. It's been 30 years, man. This was a team that was supposed to, in my mind, compete in the South. In the owner's mind, the best team that's ever been assembled here in Jacksonville. Eric Armstead, even when it goes good, can't stand prosperity. Big free agent signing, making $19 million, gets his first sack since week 1, since the Miami game. You know what he does then? He lines up offsides, not once, but 2 times in a row. 2 times in a row. 2 times in a row he did it. Guy's been playing in the league for how many years? 10? Lines up offsides 2 times in a row. Do we have accountability Monday? What do we do on Monday when we watch the film? Is it me who has to call everybody out on the show? Does the coach call everybody out? Does he even care? He looks very disinterested. Let's hear from Brent Martineau who is out at Allegiant Stadium.
Well, I've been covering this team for 16 years. What else do you want me to say? Just another miserable year in Jacksonville, and we always know this around the holiday time, with the exception of two, by the way, in the 16 years. Those nice years of 2017 and 2022. But, I mean, this was bad versus bad, and it looked like it. It was painful to watch. There was a series of plays where there were 4 consecutive penalties, 2 by the Raiders, 2 by the Jaguars, and that kind of summed everything up. The Jaguars just can't make plays. We've been talking about it all year. We know it by now, though. They're just not very good. They don't know how to play winning football. It got so contagious at one time today, losing football. Brian Thomas Jr. dropped a touchdown pass that would have gone for a while. But don't worry, that would have been called back anyway by a holding call. And then Logan Cook, arguably the Jags' best player outside of Brian Thomas Jr., shanked a kick. I mean, that's what's going on in Jacksonville. And by the way, we're so tired of talking about it. That's what we're talking about. The punter shanking a kick. The Jaguars haven't forced a turnover in 6 games, going back 6 games. It's been 42 days. If you don't force a turnover in the NFL, you don't win. They lost 19-14 to a bad Raiders team. They turned it over twice due to fumbles. The only good thing here is Brian Thomas Jr. And that's all we've been talking about now for the last few weeks. And it's the only thing we're going to continue to talk about for the next couple of weeks. And we all sit and wait and wait. And what will Shad Khan do? Doug Peterson, Trent Baalke, this front office. And if you start looking at this roster and looking ahead, it doesn't look like they're a very good football team. What are they going to do in 2025? Because they're stuck with a lot of these guys contractually as well. There's not an easy fix to flip the roster. There's so much to do in Jacksonville. Jaguars lose to the Raiders. The Raiders, dumb for winning. They lose draft positioning, and they need a quarterback. So there's that. Meanwhile, the Jaguars are back in the top 5 if you care about the NFL draft. More to come from Las Vegas. For now, I'm Brent Martineau, Action Sports Jax.
You know, there's an old saying, it goes something like this: even a blind squirrel can find an acorn every now and then. It's kind of what I feel about the Jags drafting Brian Thomas Jr. We finally got an acorn. 1,000 yards, 25th rookie in NFL history to reach 1,000. Rookie record for the Jaguars in everything: catches, yards, touchdowns. 9 for 131 today. They target him. They finally, about 2 or 3 games ago, started throwing to him. The ineptness of not going to him mid-season, by the way, and then to try to shuffle it off on well, he was banged up. Yeah, right. We know he had a little chest injury, whatever. He's out there playing, you throw him the ball. I mean, I don't know how these guys can go up there and answer questions week after week. There you see the numbers. Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington, 6 for 54. Brenton Strange, and this is what I say, be careful. You know, everybody wanted to cut Evan Ingram a week ago. Well, you got Brenton Strange. He's a terrific player. 11 last week, 2 for 22. It ain't easy. Consistency and consistent good ain't easy. The season's shot. It's been shot. You know, and Brett talked about 2025. I mean, it must include a new coaching staff, new front office. It must. It must. There's no pulling out of this. Even if the Jags had been able to come back over the last 5 games of the regular season with these easy games, and make no mistake, you know, Tennessee next week, easy. Vegas, easy. The Jets, easy. All easy games, right? The last 5 are easy. We're 1-2 in the last 5. We're now 1-3. No, I'm sorry, the Texans was easy. 1-2 in the last 5. Titans and the Colts. We're not beating the Colts, so there's another L. And then, of course, the Titans at home, who knows? I don't expect them to win. I really don't. The Titans showed heart today in Indy. They came all the way back, being down 38-7, lost 38-30. And Rudolph's a better quarterback than Will Levis. Levis was the problem with that football. They're no good either, but we're terrible too. So anyway, there it is, a lot of red on the schedule. And we'll put another L on the coffers after the Raiders game today. So my point was, even if they had made hay over these last 5 games and got to like 6 or 7 wins, you cannot bring back this staff. It's the same issues week after week after week. We're waiting Doug Peterson. We'll get him in a moment. You want to put up the – oh, okay. So we'll get him right now. He's coming up to the podium. He'll be quick. It's Christmas time. You know, he doesn't care. You know, we'll ask him 4 questions. He'll get the heck out of there, get back on the plane. Here he is. Oh, not yet? Okay. It's a long walk. It's a long walk. He's sauntering up, saying hello. How you doing? I'm Doug. I'm smug. Here we go. Is he there? Oh, he's walking down the hallway. Maybe they called him into a room and told him, don't bother. Let's just skip it. Why not? We don't need you. It's, what's he going to say? Yeah, you know, we just didn't execute. You want me to give you the Peterson press conference before we go to him? Because I can. I can tell you exactly what he's going to say because he says the same junk every week. Same junk. You know, it is what it is at this point. You know, well, I thought we did some good things out there, and oh, it's painful. It's painful, painful, painful to watch. I feel for you, Jag fans. I do. You guys deserve better. When we got this franchise, I had dark hair. Look at it. It's white. It's white now. Part of that is because of the Jaguars. It is. I'm not just a sportscaster. I'm a fan. I'm a season ticket holder. I want them to win. It's our only professional sports team in town. It's supposed to be fun. It was supposed to be fun, man. Yep. Hadn't been real fun, has it? Hadn't been real fun. We got 30 years in. I'm not getting another 30. So you youngins are going to have to take over and make it through the next 30. See what happens. Because I got, you know, a couple, 3 more. That's it as far as doing this stuff. You know, just wanted to go to 1 Super Bowl. They've wasted 4 years of Trevor Lawrence now. Wasted it. 4 years. 4 years of Trevor Lawrence. You think Trevor wants to come back and play for this team? And by the way, you realize at least he's not the problem. I mean, he should be part of the solution, but he's not the problem. You watch this offense, you watch quarterbacks. I really would have considered C.J. Beathard at one point. Why not? I mean, you know, Mac Jones, backup quarterback. That's what he is. And so that's what he's playing like. Backup quarterbacks, when they have to play 5 or 6 games, get exposed, and now he's being exposed. He doesn't throw the deep ball. He takes a lot of checkdowns, and you go pressure him, and he's not athletic enough to get away. So that's basically what you're dealing with when you're dealing with Mac Jones. So 4 years of Trevor, 2 concussions, a knee, an ankle, 2 shoulders, 1 shoulder operation, 1 after the Clemson deal. You know, you start to wonder about, what does he want? I mean, he loves playing football, but can't be very much fun. And by the way, don't go ripping on the offensive line. Don't you go ripping on the offensive line. It's the best part of the football team. You heard me right. Our offensive line is the best part of our football team. I mean that. I mean that. 27 sacks I think we've given up. We've run the ball well, better the last 2-3 weeks. In a team that is just unfathomably awful, our offensive line is okay. Better than average. We lost Walker Little again, which, by the way, young man's got to stay on the field. Tyson Campbell gets hurt every game. These are the guys that we're paying, right? These are the guys that we're paying. Some will say, oh, it's just bad luck. Best ability is availability. That's the NFL. Got to keep going. Hasn't been a bad year for injuries. The Detroit Lions got 22 guys on injured reserve, and they're 13-2. We got 8, and we're 3-12. So figure it out. It's called depth. It's called next man up. It's called figuring it out. It's called making trades. It's called filling spots. We don't do any of that. Any of that. It's just no fun. It's just no fun. Yeah, Brent may have jumped the gun on the Doug Peterson coming down the hall, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll shift gears here for just a second, and I'll continue my Give me the running back notes today. Bigsby fumbled. It's a big fumble. Can't do that. Tank. 12 for 50, though. Etienne, 9 for 22. Travis Etienne is not the same player he was. I don't know if he was a hard runner in the National Football League his first few years, and I don't know if that took it out of him, but he ain't the same. Bigsby's decent. Our running back room is not great. It's average. It's not like, the Lions won with Gibbs and Montgomery, although Montgomery's hurt now. So it's another area that there's just so many decisions to be made. But again, Mr. Khan, who's making the decisions? Please, please clean the house. Because if you keep the general manager, you're not going to get a lot of coaches who otherwise would be interested in coming here. And you're a good owner to work for because you give autonomy to these guys. You're a great owner to work for. You leave them alone. You trust them. They misused your trust. They abused your trust. They didn't do what they told you. Any other job, and you know this, Mr. Khan, and we know this in our industry, if you don't deliver, if you don't do your job well, you are asked to go someplace else. It's time here. I mean, what are the Jags, like 4-17 in their last 21 games? This isn't going to suddenly change. This was the coaching staff's job to fix. They didn't fix it. They don't throw each other under the bus. Go ahead. It doesn't matter anymore. They were 8-3 last year, and since that time, they won 1 game last year and 3 games this year. That's 4 games. They've lost 17. 17 games. 4 out of 21 games. You can't make this stuff up. Let's, okay, big picture, Doug Peterson, 9-8, 9-8, and now 3-12, but you can't. He had all season to fix this. He never fixed it. He never changed. We never adjusted. We never adapted. We never made any kind of moves. Nothing. Just kept running out the same thing over and over and over again. The same thing. It never changed. And it started at the end of last year. It started at the end of last year when the head coach had a press conference after the season ended, talked about the year, didn't tell anybody he was firing the defense coordinator, fired the defense coordinator that night. Week. The general manager took weeks before he finally met with the media. Week. That's when it started. It started in the offseason. And then they came out and puffed their chest and told us all the great things that they did. Wasn't. They didn't do anything. They didn't improve this roster. In fact, they made it worse. You know who I saw make a play today to cinch a victory? Darius Williams. You know where he plays? The LA Rams. Why do we let him go for Ronald Darby and draft Jarian Jones? Why? Darius Williams is better than both of them. Rayshon Jenkins left. Darnell Savage comes in. Is he any better? No. No. But they told us Antonio Johnson's going to be a player. Watch him. He made it through about 2 weeks. Got benched. In and out of the lineup. Talk about all the plays he's made this year. Has it. Mason Smith. Why was he inactive all season? 2nd round pick. I mean, I could talk about every player on this team and ask you 10 questions that don't make sense. And it includes 41 and 44. Where are they? They should dominate today. They should have dominated last week. Nothing. We get nothing. The sacks today from up the middle. We've been complaining about the up the middle all year. The up the middle put pressure on them. The outside guys didn't. But maybe they'll come out tomorrow and tell me I'm wrong and that Josh Hines-Allen had a great day of pressures, 47 pressures, and he's 3rd in the league in pressures. And I don't know. This is last year? Yeah. Remember when it went bad? This was the highlight right here. We went to New Orleans and we went to Pittsburgh last year. We won these 2 games. Remember that? And then we had a bye week and we all celebrated. We said, man, we're good. We got hammered by the Niners, but that was only 1 game. And we bounced back. We beat the Titans. We went to Houston. That's our last good win. We don't even have a good win this year, gang. That was our last good win. And then Monday night, went up to Cleveland, horrible. Ravens annihilated us. Bucks, I lost my mind on Christmas Eve. Remember that one? Oof. So, hasn't been the same. What happened? What happened to this football team? Where did they go wrong? You know, and I don't believe that they, quote, work hard. You know, it's one thing, Doug, we're working hard, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't think you can be so inept in terms of lining up, in terms of playing the game, in terms of the same plays over and over again, nothing new. I don't believe it. And be working hard. I don't. Mr. Khan, you have to fix it. You have to fix it. It's tough. It's hard. You're the owner. You do what you want to do. But the fan base is done with this group. And you can't ever listen to the fans, but the fans aren't always wrong either. They're not always wrong. And I got to agree with them in this case. It's just time. Liv, what are we in here? We're at I've been rambling here since what time did we start this thing? 7. I've gone 31 minutes and we got no coach yet. Okay, we can look at some scores. I'll start over here. I can't believe we don't have a coach yet. Is Brent not in the locker room either then? Oh, well, that's exciting. I can't wait to hear from him. Falcons won. Rookie quarterback Michael Penix had a great game. The Giants Giants are smart. Raiders aren't. Giants are in control of the board now. Shedeur Sanders is going to be a New York Giant. The Raiders may have to settle for Cam Ward. Maybe Cam Ward goes ahead of Shedeur Sanders. I don't know. Looks like it'll be one of those guys. Carolina won in overtime. Tell you what, Bryce Young is playing decent football. He made some passes today. I got to watch some of the red zone because the Jags were 4:30 today. Arizona out of the playoff contention. They're done for a year. We'll see you next year. Philadelphia blew it, but they blew it partly because Jalen Hurts got a concussion. He was in concussion protocol. He wasn't able to return. And Jaden Daniels is really good. 5 touchdown passes today. Detroit's going to have to outscore everybody. And they did that today to get their victory. They won. The Bengals got to 7-8. Too little, too late. Those slow starts are killing the Bengals. They killed them this year. They're done. Maybe Press can go work with his brother next year. Who knows? And the Rams are a dangerous team. Dangerous team. I like the Rams and the Bucks in the NFC in terms of, look, the Lions are real. The Vikings, we don't give enough credit to. They won today. They beat Seattle in the 4 o'clock game. Buffalo held on and beat New England, I'm pretty sure. So Buffalo was down 14-0 to New England. And they came back and won, which is what you would expect them to do. But it was close. It was a closer game than you thought it would be. So anyway, it doesn't matter. We're getting ready for a great postseason tournament. The Jags are playing out the string. This has been the longest NFL Jaguar season I can remember. And we keep working, and it's a fun job. And we're very blessed to have it. But it's tough. You guys at least have the option of going Christmas shopping today, or building a fire and watching the red zone, or making some eggnog, or putting up the tree a little late, or buying Uncle Dan presents. You have those options today. We have a job to do, and that's covering the Jaguars and telling you what we think. Unfortunately, we think they stink. And we don't think, we know. They stink. They stink. So, anyway, you want to take a break, Liv? I don't know what else to do. I can stall for a little bit longer. I can run through it again, say all the same things that I've been saying. I can do that later. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and see, and we'll cut out of it if Doug shows up. How about that? All right.
Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Jax 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jags, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget the Brent and Austin Show. They're all in on Trevor. Of course. Download the Action News Jax Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjax.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Jax 24/7. Jacksonville sports, all the time.
When I say it means something to me, gentlemen, it means something to me.
High school football is back, and it's bigger than ever. Welcome to the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
It is bigger than a game.
Watch the biggest games each week live as the action unfolds with instant reaction and analysis from our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. It starts with live look-ins at the top matchups, including our Jaguars Prep Whataburger Game of the Week. And that is just the beginning of 4 straight hours of coverage. From 8 to 10:30, the Friday Night Zone Blitz is streaming on our Action News Jax app and online. At 10:30, the Friday Night Blitz you know and love. A half hour of highlights from around the area. 11 o'clock, we shine the spotlight on the bands that pump up the crowd. 11:15, it's time to blitz through the highlights online and on air. Then 11:35, back to the stream to break down the night's results with a reaction from local coaches. 4 straight hours of high school football on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Only on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
I've been forecasting the weather for a long time, and no matter where I go, I always get asked the same question.
Hey, Mike, what's the weather gonna be like?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, hey, what's the weather going to be like?
I don't mind being asked because I always have the answer. Great day for a perfect round of golf. Hey, little rain later today. So go ahead, ask me.
Hey, Mike, I'm heading out. What's the weather like tonight?
It's the same question, even at home.
Mike Burrish, he's got your weather answer on Action News Jax. Jags Nation, this is the Action Sports Jax postgame show.
All right, there it is. We had some Jag fans out in Vegas. So I'm sure a lot of you made the plans to go early and probably had a great time. It's like going to Nash Vegas. Same thing, man. Guys go have a fun time out there. Unfortunately, watch your team lose, and then fans of the other teams come here. They watch their team win. It's got to stop. We got to stop this madness. And you got to take another shot at it. You got to, because this group ain't getting it done. It's just not getting it done. How long can you go on? And we await Doug Peterson, and again, still hasn't met the media. We're going to be off the air here in about 12 minutes. So do we have any interviews ready? Do we have? No? Okay, we're turning around Dewey Wingard and Brian Thomas Jr., who, gosh, what a day. That's his third 100-yard day of the year. I think he's up to, what was it, 69 catches? What a great year. It's been terrific. We'll get all the numbers for you tonight on primetime and let you know what he's done. They're throwing him the ball every which way, finally. They should have been doing it all season long, regardless of who the other receivers are. He clearly is our go-to guy. And so, yeah, he's something. He's something, and that's all we got. That is all we got. The rest, you can just take them out with the bathwater. It doesn't much matter. They're very interchangeable. And that includes all the other guys. Every single one of them. You can't have 2 games, 3 games, where you get nothing from your defensive ends who are supposed to be your 2 best players. And they are. And they're included in our plans going forward, but don't be misled. You can't have games like this. You simply can't. And I don't know if it's the coaches, the players, the scheme. Somebody's got to figure that out, though, and tell us what it is. It's most likely a combination. The players ain't good enough, and the coaches ain't good enough, and the front office ain't good enough. Here's Dewey Wingard.
How did you do that today? Did you feel like you kind of got back into a little bit of a groove today?
Felt great. Felt like myself. That's what I do. I go out and ball. That's what I do.
You guys have gone 5 games without getting a turnover, and I know you can't scheme that up, but is it almost crazy the ball isn't finding you guys at all?
Can't say. I know I had a chance today. I probably should have went and just caught the ball. I went through the guy, but I don't know.
Have you been on a pitch count, or have they just been limiting you defensively with snaps? Or
just haven't been playing. and you see what happens when I play. So.
Could you just talk a little bit about how difficult it is for this team to just get through this grind? There's no big, huge carrot to play for. It's just pride at this point, and the effort's there, but the payoff has not been.
I mean, I know for the guys that haven't been around, it's hard. And I've been through this stuff many times, and you just got to go play ball and know that your tape is your resume and everyone's watching the tape, and that's what you got to do. And it stinks, and I do everything in my power to scream at guys and cuss and say, let's effing go, but it is what it is.
This time of year, when your record's a record, do you find guys lose focus a little bit? I mean, the pre-snap penalty is a lot of offside stuff. I mean, is that a product of that a little bit?
I've seen that all year. I don't know if it's lack of discipline or what, but I've seen a lot of that throughout the year, so I don't think the record has anything to do with that.
I know you can't do much about your playing time, but you feel healthy enough to be playing more?
Hell yeah. Absolutely. I'm a starter in this league.
How is, you mentioned obviously you've been through situations like this before, how is this one different, maybe 21 or 2020?
All the hype. New facility, made the playoffs, 9-8 2 years in a row. So I would say that adds to the downfall, if you will.
Have you had conversations of why you're not getting more reps?
Nah, I just go about my business, put on my hard hat, and go to work.
Think you earned some more today?
We'll see.
Have you had conversations about not just the next few games, but where this organization has to go moving forward beyond even these next 2 weeks?
Have I had conversations? Yeah. No, that's way above my pay grade.
I love the way above my pay grade. He's ticked off. You can tell. He probably played pretty well today. He probably should have been playing, and he hasn't been. And, maybe they thought he lost a step when he did the knee injury. Was it a severe knee injury? Kept him out for quite some time. But he looked good to me today, right? He didn't get beat. Now, again, the team that the Jags played today was terrible. You have to understand this. The team the Jags played today were missing their top 2 corners today, okay? They were down to 4 corners, the announcer said. So we should have been able to just pick them apart. But I will say, when Dewey Winger was in there, I saw some pass breakups. I saw some, I don't know that he's the answer. I think there's always been a role on this team for him. He's had some big moments for the Jags. I can tell you about big plays that Dewey Winger's play. I've watched these other safeties not do anything this whole year, but they haven't made no changes. You can tell he's ticked about it without saying he's ticked. Tell me you're ticked without saying you're ticked. That was Dewey Winger right there. He's ticked about it. He wants to be playing. I go about my business. Nobody says anything to me. Okay. And he's probably at wit's end, and he probably, because, guys want to play. And if you're not playing on a bad football team, but again, do you trust the coaches are making the right decisions? I don't. Do you trust that the coaches are putting the right guys in the right positions and playing the right guys? I don't. I don't know this for a fact, but I don't. I think back to the beginning of the year when they told us how good the interior defensive line was. That's why they kept so many guys and so many tough decisions to make, and Mason Smith's not playing and blah, blah, blah. And, finally today I saw Mason Smith play, and he was by far their best player on the D-line today, right? Just checking on Doug here again. We're still waiting. It's 8:13 here. We've been rocking for 45 minutes. So we should have him here momentarily. Is that what you're telling me? No connection. No Doug. All right. Okay. Everybody missed Doug. Must have been quick. I predicted this, by the way. I was spot on. You told me, don't worry, Dan. It's all right there. We're fine. I said, are you sure? Did I not live? Did I not? I did. I was spot on in my prediction. But nonetheless, what do we have? We have Brian Thomas Jr. We're waiting on him. Okay. All right, we're going to hear from Brian Thomas Jr., the star of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have a star, we have a dog, we have a great player. Here he is.
What do the individual things mean to you today to hit that 1,000 mark and do what you did?
I mean, the individual things are all cool and all. I mean, it's a great accomplishment, but team accolades override individual accolades for me. So, I mean, it would have been better if we would have been able to come out and get to the win, but yeah.
Has that been a tough thing, the process for you, kind of balancing the two?
I wouldn't say it's been a tough thing. I mean, you have to take the personal accolades and just, I mean, you still have to have something to be proud about. At the end of the day, I mean, like I said, team accolades override personal accolades for me.
How surprised you were as open as you were open?
I was actually super surprised. I mean, I don't know what happened. Like, they had a busted coverage over there, and I was able to, I mean, just run right by them wide open. So I was super surprised.
In a strange way, are those tough ones to catch?
Yeah, I mean, they feel like they be floating in the air for like forever. But I mean, you just gotta lock in, focus, and go attack and make the play.
How challenging right now is to keep focus in the situation you guys are in? Because you guys, not you, but maybe had a ton of pre-snap stuff. I mean, are you noticing some of that it's hard to get focused when you're now 3-12?
I mean, at the end of the day, we all professionals. We all, we all deal with stuff a certain way. I mean, we just gotta, when it's coming game time, we just gotta be locked in and be ready to go each and every snap.
Can you ever recall a route that you're running where you were actually slowing down at the end of the route and you were still 12, 13 yards behind the guy because he was expecting safety help and he didn't get it?
Like I said, I don't know what happened on that play. It must have had a busted coverage or something. I was wide open and I was able to go score a touchdown.
Do you reset your goals at all for your last two games? I mean, are there some things you're still trying to hit now that you've knocked off all the rookie records and 1,000 yards?
I mean, I'm just trying to focus on finishing out this season as best I can. Just put my best foot forward each and every day, and my personal accolades is just to get better each and every day, get better each and every week.
You came into the league with Mason. You played with him in college. What did you think of his performance today?
Mason played well. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, we want to win. So, I mean, personal accolades don't mean nothing. But Mason played really well today. I'm proud of him. He's just going to keep continuing and getting better and going to keep continuing to play good.
In terms of the game plan, how often, I guess evaluate the game plan coming in terms of concentrated effort to get you guys the ball, concentrated effort to run the ball. How would you evaluate the execution of what you guys thought the plan would be coming in?
I feel like we just got to be better overall. Just whether it's executing the game plan or just getting lined up. Just like the little things. I just feel like we got to be better. Just be better with the little things. And a game plan to come in, it'll be great. We'll be able to execute the game plan better.
Does this get, I don't know, I guess embarrassing a little bit? I mean, to where you guys are at and knowing what you think you have on this roster?
I mean, yeah, it gets to a point where, I mean, we feel like we got the players and the coaches to go out there and do what we know we're capable of. But, I mean, time at time, we keep falling short. I mean, yeah. But, I mean, we're going to keep coming out here, keep fighting, and keep giving it all. So, yeah.
Thank you, Brian Thomas Jr. Thank you. You are the lone bright spot in a dismal year for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And again, whether you care about the draft pick, which I don't know why you do, honestly, it doesn't matter where we pick. If the guy picking them is the guy picking them, it doesn't matter. But just for the record, from what I can tell, the Jags would pick third now. The Giants are first, New England is second, and Jacksonville is third. So that's where the Jags would pick. I don't, again, I can't do this every year. Oh, let's hope we get, Travis Hunter, let's hope we get, you guys can do all that. It doesn't matter. We'll screw it up because that's what we do, because we're the Jags. And until somebody, Mr. Khan, changes that, it will continue. And we've got a big, beautiful stadium being built. And with that should be some demands by you to your football side. And your football side is not near as effective as your business side. Your business side, top-notch people, great characters. Your football side, no good. No good. It starts with the general manager and the head coach. And then everybody else who isn't, along for the ride, you got to make changes. That's the business. It's a results-oriented business, man. And the results around here are abysmal. So that's what we have. We're done. We're out of time. Appreciate you hanging up. Sorry that we didn't have many interviews. We're efforting a few. We'll get them all for you tonight on Action Sports Jax primetime. We'll join you at 10:30 and 11:30 on CBS 47. Jags lose. They're 3-12. Good night.
Jags Nation, thanks for watching the Action Sports Jax postgame show.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years, and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices or pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
It's hard to put a price on comfort, especially when you use that comfort on a daily basis. But if we're going to put a price on it, how does the lowest price guaranteed sound? Furniture Source is going to have the biggest brands, whether it's Ashley, Casper, or Tempur-Pedic, and once again, it's going to be the guaranteed lowest price in Jacksonville. Right now, my friends at Furniture Source are going to give you the ultimate hookup because all month long, they're making their inventory wholesale price. Check out their markdowns up to 50% off. And remember, since it's Furniture Source, you're getting the guaranteed lowest prices in Florida or your money back. Don't have the cash on you right now? It's no worry. Shop endless options to suit your style and budget and enjoy 36 months off with no interest financing. Why use your money when you can use theirs? Whether it's beds, couches, tables, or chairs, Furniture Source is going to have exactly what you're looking for. Shop the lowest prices in Jacksonville guaranteed. Find the location nearest you at FurnitureSourceJax.com.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jag Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix.
All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Right now, get 10% off any residential job of $500 or more. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.